Hello and welcome to this video on Cubing World. This is going to be a Pyraminx tutorial on the Oka method. So the Oka method is a bit of an advanced method, so I would not recommend learning this as your first method, but you could if you want. It's not that tricky. Pyraminx is pretty simple in general. Now in this tutorial I'm not going to be scrambling the tips at all because they're so simple, so I'll just distract from the overall method. So with that, let's go ahead and scramble this up and get started. Okay, so that's pretty scrambled. Now the steps of the Oka method. First, you take a center like this piece with yellow, orange, and green, and then what you'll do is you'll put one of the edges that goes with it in its correct spot, and another one in an incorrect spot, but oriented the proper way. So we'll use this center as an example. It's got green, yellow, and orange, so the edges are going to be the orange and yellow, the yellow and green, and the green and orange. Now you can see we already have the orange and yellow in this center attached. And you can see it's also oriented correctly. Now the way you can tell if it's oriented correctly is the colors won't match. So here, for example, we have green and green. That means that it's not oriented correctly. But here, it's orange, but it doesn't touch the orange. And the green doesn't touch the green. There is no green on this piece. But the green doesn't touch the green. So that means that this piece is correctly oriented. Basically, that just means that I can put it into its correct spot, which is over here, by only turning the right side and the top side, like that. You'll notice with this piece, I can't do the same. If I just turn the right side and the top side, it puts it in, but it's flipped the wrong way. So, let's look for the other edge. We have the orange and yellow, and we have the green and orange, so the other one's going to be yellow and green. So we look around and we see it's down here. So, when you're first starting off, I would plan in inspection, I would plan this first step. So where the incorrect edge is going to go and how to get it there, and where the correct edge is going to go and how to get it there. So in this case, we already have an incorrect edge. I would utilize that in an actual solve because it makes it a lot easier. So you'll see this has to go over here. Now if I turn this way, I can put this up, but it's flipped the wrong direction. So I want to spin it over here so I don't match. So I've got green and yellow. So then when I push it up, it's aligned properly. So that's the first step. The next step is you orient all the rest of these centers, but you keep the other edge off the top layer. So I don't want to end up like this with the orange and green edge on the top up here. I mean, I could, but it's not good to do that. It just makes it trickier for the next step, so try and avoid that if you can. So we'll go ahead and just start, twist this first center down. So this top center doesn't have any blue, so we know that the blue has to go on the bottom. So here's a blue, we'll just twist it down like that. And now here's this edge. We've got to be watching this edge to make sure that we don't push it up. So we can push this down too, and you'll notice this is still on the bottom layer. And then lastly, this one, we can push it down too, and this stays down on the bottom. And now you'll notice when I did this, I used this empty slot. This edge touching this center isn't important. This one is because it's got the incorrect edge, and this one is because it has the right edge. So I don't want to just turn this down and then turn this down and then turn this down, because then I don't have any of my edges up there that I started with. So we have to use this empty slot like this. So this is the bad slot, so I can push that down. Now to twist this center down, I have to twist this bad slot on top of it like that. Then I can push it down. And then same thing for this last one, and then push it down. So that's the next step. Now, the step after that is we're going to finish solving this tip, this whole centerpiece, so the center and then these three edges. So we're going to find the edge that's still in the bottom, this orange-green one, and then we're going to line it up where it has to go, like this. Now we don't want it to be over here with orange and orange matching. We don't want the same colors touching because this will be flipped wrong. We do want it to be opposite. So if the green is on the bottom, we want the green to be on the front. So then what we do is it has to go up here. So I just do, I turn the right side to push it up into its spot, but that pushed this edge out of the way. So then I twist this edge over like this so that the spot that this edge actually has to belong in is right up here. So when I bring this center back down like that, you'll see it put those three edges in place. So now I can just finish this center off like that to line it up with all the rest. And then we just have this last step, which is solving these three edges. What we're going to do is this one's going to be a bit trickier, but the concept is the same. What we're going to do is we're going to put an edge in the top layer, but not in the right spot and oriented correctly. So here's this yellow-green edge. It's in the right spot and it's oriented the wrong way. So that's not going to be easy to do. So I'm actually going to use this edge, the blue-yellow edge, and put it into the wrong spot the right way. So I see if I bring this, if I slide this over here and I bring this up, you'll see that this matches yellow and yellow. Now, we already saw we don't like that. That means that it's oriented the wrong way. So what we're going to do instead is I'm actually going to bring it this way. So the edge comes over here. Now you'll see if I bring it up, it would be oriented correctly. So I can just bring this wrong spot over this direction and bring it up. So now it's in the wrong spot and it's oriented the right way. Now there's just another thing to do. We have to orient the centers. So this is the empty spot that we'll use to orient the centers, because this one's important and this one's important, but this one is not. So this doesn't have any orange on it, so I know the orange has to be on the bottom. This doesn't have any orange and this doesn't have any orange, but this one does. So I'm going to bring this empty spot over here and then just bring this orange down. Now you'll see that this is solved. We've got this correct edge and we have this edge here in the wrong spot but oriented the right way. So now we look for the other edge, which is now going to be in the bottom layer somewhere. It's over here. So like we did the first time, we're going to twist this but so it goes opposite, like green on the bottom and green on the front. Not yellow and yellow, but green and yellow, so it's like opposite colors. So then what we do is it has to go over here, so we push it up and that pushes this edge out of the way. But since the edge has to go over here, I can just drag it over there and bring this back up. That is the Oka method on Pyraminx. I hope you liked this tutorial. If you did, be sure to subscribe to Cubing World. There are lots of other good videos on here. And thank you for watching.